Hey everybody, it's a Saturday morning. I'm about to head out, but before that, I was just having some snacks and I wanted to share some thoughts that I had about Duterte's recent arrest by the ICC. By the way, for those who are new to my page, hi, I'm Tina. I am a lawyer with degrees from UP Law and Queen Mary University of London. Whether you support Duterte or not, this is a major moment in Philippine history. And it's important that we all understand what's happening and why. My goal here isn't to convince you that Duterte is guilty or to make you adapt my political views. It's to explain the legal side of things, to clear up some misinformation, and to encourage you to follow the ICC proceedings with a critical eye. So let's start with the basics. Duterte has been arrested by the International Criminal Court or the ICC on charges of murder as a crime against humanity, linked to the thousands of killings under his drug war, almost all of them from the poorest communities, including the deaths of more than 100 children. So the prosecution now has the responsibility to prove these charges beyond reasonable doubt in court. The ICC issued the warrant of arrest because Duterte himself withdrew the Philippines from the Rome Statute in 2019, which the ICC believes was an attempt to avoid accountability. He has also openly threatened violence if arrested and has shown no willingness to cooperate with the ICC. The ICC is concerned that if Duterte returns to power as Davao City Mayor, the killings could escalate because Duterte himself has vowed to double them. So was Duterte's arrest legal? Yes, and here's why. Duterte and his supporters argue that the arrest by the ICC was illegal because Article 59 of the Rome Statute, which requires a local court to first confirm the validity of the arrest warrant and ensure that his rights were respected, was not followed. Instead, as you know, he was taken straight to the ICC, didn't go through the Supreme Court first. So, since this step was skipped, they claim that the arrest was unlawful. So, why was the arrest legal? The most basic and condensed and simplest reason is that the Rome Statute, including Article 59, which they are citing, no longer applies. The Philippines withdrew from the Rome Statute in March 2019 upon Duterte's own order. So, this means that the Rome Statute no longer applies to the Philippines after that date. So, since the Rome Statute no longer applies, then this means that domestic law takes over. Republic Act number 9851, which is a Philippine law, now governs how the government handles cases involving international courts. Under RA 9851, Philippine authorities are allowed to surrender individuals to an international court if that court is already investigating or prosecuting a crime. This means that the government was well within its legal authority to cooperate with the ICC and Interpol and surrender Duterte. This decision to surrender Duterte was made by the chief executive, the president, who has the authority to execute Philippine laws, including RA 9851. By the way, you might be thinking, nag-withdraw na pala yung Philippines sa Rome Statute in 2019, so why does the ICC even have jurisdiction over Duterte still? This was answered by the Supreme Court in the 2021 case of Pangilinan versus Cayetano, wherein it was held that while the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute was valid, the ICC retains jurisdiction over crimes committed before the withdrawal. So this means that the ICC has the legal right to prosecute Duterte for drug war killings that happened before March 2019. Which is when we withdrew from the Rome Statute. So it's funny if you think about it, because it was Duterte himself who caused the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute. And now he wants to invoke Article 59 of it to claim that his arrest was illegal. So yeah, Duterte now cannot rely on the Rome Statute to shield himself from prosecution, since his own act made the Rome Statute not apply to the Philippines. Okay, so now that that has been cleared up, why does this matter? This matters because this is the last clear chance for accountability. We Filipinos know that domestic courts have been super ineffective at holding powerful figures like Duterte accountable. This is a country wherein convicted plunderers walk free, where political influence can distort or even avoid justice. And this ICC case is a rare opportunity to see the rule of law applied fairly and impartially. Because let's be honest, the Philippine justice system has been a failure at prosecuting these high-level officials. That's precisely why the ICC exists, to step in when local courts are unwilling or unable to act. So this case is exactly what the ICC was designed for. So what are the next steps? Well, the confirmation of charges hearing, which is a pre-trial proceeding, happens on September 23, 2025. At this hearing, the evidence will be reviewed to decide whether there are substantial grounds to proceed to a full trial. And regardless of where you stand politically, you should follow these proceedings closely. We all should. This is a moment of reckoning for the Philippines. The next thing that I wanted to say is be mindful of disinformation. We are living in a time of fake news and propaganda. Misinformation about Duterte's arrest is already spreading online. I still see it being reshared and reshared. False quotes from supposed legal experts, some of whom are actually fictional lawyers in TV series. Ano ba? Misleading claims about the validity of the arrest, the applicability of the Rome Statute, attempts to downplay the charges kasi 43 people lang naman daw yung namatay. So truly, don't believe everything that you see on your feed. Take the time to read, to research, to fact check. If you can spend hours reading Shopee or Lazada reviews before buying an air fryer or a lipstick, then you can take a few minutes to check the facts of this case. Be discerning. Don't let anyone feed you false narratives. So check, cross-check, double-check. It is easy to do. Go online, read CNN, Rappler. You can read this book, but it's an excellent read. Some People Need Killing. This is an award-winning book by Patricia Evangelista, who was a trauma reporter, an investigative journalist, who chronicled her coverage of Duterte's drug war for 6 years. Read it, you guys. It's an award-winning piece of non-fiction. Okay, I have to go soon, so I'm gonna wrap up. Why should we care about this? If you are a Filipino who is sick and tired of seeing the rich, the powerful, the corrupt escape accountability, then this case matters. Personally, I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm so sick of paying massive taxes, knowing that it goes to the pockets of these corrupt officials, not to the people who actually need it. I'm so sick of public officials who think that they're above the law, who act like they're above the law, because they know that in the Philippines, they can get away with it. I'm so sick and tired of being disappointed and heartbroken when the political candidates who I volunteered as an election lawyer for, I was an election lawyer for Chel Diokno and Lenny Robredo, and I really felt like they were the only hope for the Philippines, and they didn't get elected, and I was so heartbroken. I'm so sick of that. This is not just about Duterte. It's about whether justice can still exist in a country wherein power and money often dictate the outcome of legal cases. Justice won't bring back the thousands of lives lost to the drug war, including the life of Kian de los Santos, a 17-year-old boy shot and killed by police who later claimed that he was resisting arrest. But it might send a message that even the most powerful figures can be held accountable. So the case is bigger than Duterte. It's about whether the rule of law still means something in the Philippines. That's why you should care. Okay, I really have to go, but again, my goal isn't to convince you that Duterte is guilty or to get you to change your political stance. The ICC will determine whether Duterte is guilty or innocent. That's what the trial is for. My goal is to encourage you to pay attention, to ask questions, and to approach the information that you see, that you read, with a critical mind. Digest it, be discerning. This case is a defining moment for the Philippines, so don't look away.